this, hand it over to our host of the night, Dan Winter, please.
Welcome, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Thank you for joining us this evening for this Mind Your Assets workshop with Saikat Mitra. I am honored to introduce our esteemed and premier speaker this evening. If you don't know Saikat, you may wonder, why should I listen to him? What does he know and what can he teach me about minding my assets? Well, Saikat has a regular IT job. He has his own business. He's a dedicated husband and father of 2 young children. And he's a dedicated Toastmaster, juggling many projects while on his distinguished Toastmaster path. All of that, my friends, adds up to quite a load. So I'm thinking that if he can do all of that at one time, he must know something about managing all of his assets in an efficient way. Once again, thank you for joining. And without any further delay, here is Saikat Mitra with his Mind Your Assets workshop.
Thank you. Let me start sharing my screen. I will just try to mute everybody, or everybody can put yourself on mute, please. And with that, I will get started. Hope you can all see my screen.
Yeah.
All right. So mind your assets. And when I was looking at our life, we all have similar things. To start with, I think more people are joining in. So welcome everybody. If you please put yourself on mute. We are just getting started. We are all in this together. How many of you heard that? We are hearing this again and again. Everybody saying that same thing, that we are all in this together. However, this would end. It's like Enter the Dragon. Eventually there will be Exit the Dragon, right? And we are all in this together, but during this time, different people are going through different experiences. And before and after, there are different experiences. But all boils down to how we use our own assets that we already own, and how we use our resources that we already have. And to using all that, we create happiness and cash flow maybe, or other dreams and goals. We found that cash flow may be a good thing to talk about. So that is the main agenda of today's speech. This is a Toastmasters program called High Performance Leadership. And my agenda here is to give a quick overview of what Toastmasters is all about, talk about high performance leadership and the guidance committee introduction, and then we'll get to our main topic of assets, different assets and resources, and what's the results. All right. So first, what is Toastmasters International? Toastmasters International is an establishment, non-profit organization that started in 1924. Okay, and over a period of time, they have grown over 143. I'm just trying to set up the view as, sorry. Yeah, I'm just trying to set up speaker view so that maybe I don't know how to do that. So that's all right. I'll continue. So Toastmasters International has moved over 100 and expanded in 143 countries over a period of time till today. Since 1924, have 358,000 members and 16,800 plus clubs all over. So most probably wherever you are living, there is a club nearby. All right, and I'll take you through quickly. Toastmaster, as soon as we talk about, we think about public speaking. So public speaking is one of the part of it, but you get other things like, I would take you to toastmasters.com, and this is Toastmaster International. You can go to toastmasters.org, and if you scroll down, you have the path is like, what is Toastmaster? What I just talked about, where you can go practice your public speaking in front of captive audience, and seasoned Toastmasters who would be helping you, guiding you. Then you do is visit the club, find out a club in your area. At the top, you have a find a club. You can go there, give your location, you'll find them, and then become a member and start your learning path. They have multiple learning paths there that anyone that suits you, your particular situation, you can follow that. Okay. And I'm getting into our high performance leadership. This is a program run by Toastmasters, and I'm working towards my DTM. This is one of the mandatory program of Toastmasters, is this high performance leadership. And this program teaches you as a leader how to create a vision and values, how to create your direction. So you have vision and values, as they say that no vision, no leadership. Man without vision shall perish. And direction is setting up a goal which is much narrower than your vision. And then you need a team. So you need to persuade people to follow along for their benefit, not just for your benefit, for their benefit. You support them, make sure they are developing along the way, and you are reaching your vision, and you are appreciating everybody along the way. It's not yelling at them when things go wrong. It doesn't teach you that. So I hope sometime my kids also get that benefit. It just talks about appreciation when things go right. And in this journey, I'm not alone. I have my guidance committee, which has Diane Winter. She is from IEEE Livewares Club, Sharon McGrive, Arvind Kandaswamy, Hemant Vora. They are all for my home club, which is Art of Speaking Toastmasters Club from Edison, New Jersey. And I also have my good friend Raphael Victor. He is from Homedale Toastmasters Club. So if you have any question about anything, and there are other clubs presented here, and so if you have any question, you can get to these folks and they would be helping you out. All right. Moving right into our assets. So asset number one, we are born with our mind. There is nobody that born without a mind. So we are all born with the mind, and that is our first asset. And I'll quickly read one pointer about mind. It says here, master and slave. Those who have control over their mind are masters, like Zen masters. Those who are controlled by their mind are slaves. And those who have lost control over their mind are lunatics. So, you know, many times we see people who are a little bit off, little unbalanced. Now we know what's going on. So mind is a fantastic tool, and you can scientifically, we don't know exactly where the mind is, but it's pretty much, we can say scientifically that this is our brain, and that probably consists of the mind and all the nervous system going all along the body, which runs the entire system of our human body. So that is probably containing the mind. I'm not going into the mind beyond and everything as such. So mind. And it is living in a dark spot inside your brain, inside your skull, doesn't have any opening. However, it has eyes. Whatever information coming through eyes, it goes to your brain. Eyes, nose, ears, your taste bud, your skin, everything is gathering information. And any point in time, and any one instant, 1 second, your entire body or entire mind captures about 11 billion bits. And how much it actually gives to your conscious mind? About 50 bits, that is about 5 words. So all the success and failure is in between those filters. So mind is over a period of time gets very, very complicated, not for a small child, but even for a small baby, it can run its entire system by itself. So it's very complicated from the get-go. And it gets more and more complicated because of the filtering mechanism it sets throughout the life. As mind is learning things, it grows those filtering mechanism between 11 million bits to 50 bits, that is 5 words per second. So any point in time, if you are planning to use your mind properly, you definitely have to keep in mind that how the filtering system working in my life or in my mind. Is it helping or it is not? So with that, I'll get to few of the tips and tricks about how to use your mind better. None of those I invented or discovered. I learned from other books and from my personal experience. Number one is the mind is very productive when it is on one subject. It's focused on one place instead of diverting into many things. Mind always looks for shiny objects, but it can any point in time get 5 words, 50 bits. So how do you control that? Actually, that's an art, something you need to learn. If you are not able to focus in one thing for a long time, you just need to practice it. Other human beings can do it. You can also do it. If you want to, you just have to practice. Every time your mind diverts, you have to say, no, I need to focus on ABC, and you bring your mind back. And that is actually a meditation technique and everything. And I was reading this Altered Traits, this book recently, and it's talking about how meditation changes all different aspects of life. So we have to learn how to focus on one topic, one subject at a time, and for an elongated period of time. So multitasking would not work because you have only 50 bits any point in time. And that's scientifically, if you get it, it becomes very easy that what is my 50 bits at this instant? Where do I focus on? Because you have very tiny bit of things. However, when I'm saying don't multitask, don't forget people like Elon Musk, who has so many companies. Like one is, we just heard about SpaceX, to Solar City, to Tesla, to OpenAI, to so many other Hyperloop, so many other companies. How does he focus that? Or Leonardo da Vinci, who started the Renaissance man. He had interest in so many areas, not just art and painting, like also into physiology, also into science. He had the first prototype of a helicopter. So how they did it, or even Richard Branson for that matter, in today's world. So they probably focused on one subject, mastered it, moved on, or focused on one company at a time. So they figured out how to compartmentalize their life. At any point in time, they're focusing on one company, move on to the next one. So we can also do that. If another human being can do something, we definitely can do that. Mind also works better with less number of goals, because mind works very well when it is given a goal. And its filtering mechanism know that, okay, that's my goal. Here is my 11 million bits. What should be my 50 bits? So I have a goal, it would filter out. That's how mind works. And it's like a heat-seeking missile. It would filter out the information that you need. That also means if you are thinking about the things you don't need, if you're focusing on that more, mind would seek that also and give you more of that. So one of the things to keep in mind, always tell your mind that what you want. And don't focus that much into what you don't want. That way it works better. The less number of goals. One example is Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett in his Berkshire Hathaway, every year, end of the year, they came up with their priorities. What are the important things they need to do next year? And everybody, entire company, find out different pointers and everything. They put it down, they take it hundreds of pages of priority, important items, and then they figure out what's the highest priority. So first 1, 2, 3, that's what they keep. Rest they throw away. That these are the 3 high priority things we'll work on next 1 year, and they then again think of the next one. That's an easy way to prioritize, but we have to prioritize against for our life, for our family, for our maybe spiritual life, for family life, and so on and so forth. Next comes fixed versus growth mentality, and there is a books on that. A fixed mentality, what happens is over a period of time, those filters that I'm talking about, that accepts for certain people that the situation cannot be any better. This is what is final. This person I have a problem with, and it would be that way for the rest of our life. It's like I cannot be any more taller, but I can grow, learn new things. But a fixed mindset person usually accepts that things cannot get any better. This company, this is my final. I cannot get the next promotion, or this is my final state. A certain situation, I say I lost my job, man, that's it, period. Nothing better can happen. But a growth mindset person would always look for what are the options, what are the possibilities. It's about possibility thinking. I'm not talking about optimism here. There is a reality in any point in time, but a growth mindset person would look for possibilities, options, there what can happen, where I can get things done better, right? And that also very well connected with positive mental attitude. With positive mental attitude, things can go better easily, because when you are positive, you can see better options and positive outcomes, and you can work on that. And negative personality or negative mental attitude is important, especially if you have friends with negative mental attitude. You know that you can actually take loan from them, take money from them. They are anyway negative. They are not expecting you to return it back. Okay, but positive mental attitude goes very well with growth mindset, where you are thinking about options. And as a matter of fact, some people who are going after stock market and everything, if you listen to the CEOs or the leadership, when at the end of every quarter in their announcements or speeches and everything, you can figure out that which company has a growth mindset leader, and you can figure out where they can see more possibilities. Your chances are better. Here is one more technique about how to, when you are using your mind mindfully, that if you give your mind a problem, your mind works very well. It figures out the solution. Not actively think about it, but give your mind a problem, like before going to bed. Maybe you think about your problem there, what can be the solution? I don't know, just go to bed. Most probably it would find out a solution next day morning. Okay, or maybe in few days it would figure out a solution for you. I can almost guarantee for about your brain it works. And if you watch TV before going to bed, whole night your mind is thinking stuff, you have no control, right? That may not be helping you reaching your goal. And another very easy way of handling mind is, since it has so much of filter going on, if you give it a habit, it's very easy for your body or your mind can control or reach a goal. Just like driving, you can learn about autopilot is creating different habits. Once you have the habits, you will do things automatically. Let's say you want to create a habit of saving. Wherever you go, you want to say that, okay, I needed $100 to spend. I somehow have to always spend $10 less, 10%. I would, my budget was $100, I would spend $90, come what may. And give yourself a problem. Gradually, you would figure out that that is a habit. It's not just a health that you have to jump rope or do exercise. That's not the only habit. This also can be a habit. And there is a book, I'll show you this book by Brian Tracy. It talks about $1 million habits, and it talks about different habits for different aspects of life. And last but not the least about mind is a mastermind. It's a concept where you have 1 or 2 or 3 max friends or family with whom you can share and there is no resistance. Okay, you share your goal, that person shares their goal, and you are actually covering each other's back, and they know that they can totally trust you, and you know you can totally trust them. That mastermind, if it is created, I don't know how it works. Nobody actually knows how it works, but it works. Two minds blend into, two or more minds blend into a bigger mind. And as a matter of fact, Thomas Alva Edison and many great people have this mastermind concept. They followed that. They had a group of people. You can do more research. So that's some pointers about mind, and I'll move on to the next one. And if you have questions, definitely put it down. At the end, we'll have a question answer session. So next is the next asset that we are again born with is the body. Body is, if you look at the body, you just make your body to work $10–15 per hour. It doesn't fetch any more than that. But the most important thing a body can do is it carries your mind around, right? And somebody was talking about, I was reading in some book that what is the most important part of your body? You know what? It's not the head, it's the shoulder, where you can shoulder other people, right? And that's very important to think about. So a healthy mind lives in a healthy body. If you want to really optimize something, you need your body to be in good shape. And when the body is in pain, nothing else matters. Like you may have world's best cell phone or iPhone or some gadgets, whatever you have, world's best Tesla car or maybe a flying car, but if you don't have electricity, nothing works. The same thing with, you may have big goals of your success, of your career, of in your family, great plans for your family, kids, future, whatever you have, but if your body is not taken care of, it's very hard to achieve anything. Not everybody can become like Stephen Hawkins. And body goes with momentum. Like if you're running every day, body would tell you that, hey, today you didn't run. If you do a little bit of exercise, so initially starting an exercise habit is not easy, but later on, your body would keep reminding you that, hey, you have not done your exercise today. And when your body starts telling you that, you know that your habit is formed. That 21-day theory doesn't work on me. When I start to build a new habit, it takes me somewhere between 89–90 days. Okay, so you have to have the willpower initial days. As long, everybody has different things. Maybe some of you would get a habit in 7 days. I don't know. It takes me 80–90 days. So by the time you'll figure, your body is telling you that, hey, today I needed that exercise, or where is my dessert after my dinner? So whichever your body is telling you, that's the habit you have formed. Okay, and it goes by momentum, and only two things matter in body, that is your food and your movement. So about the food to keep in mind in the body, if you put your food in your mouth, you pretty much lost control. You don't know where it goes, how it spreads out in your body. You have basically one pipe from mouth all the way back. It's about 30 feet long, and you put stuff in it, and that's it. And the pipe is very intelligent, that spread out the stuff, whatever you put in, throughout your body. And through that, it manages, or it only tries to keep you healthy, keep you alive as long as it can. And we human beings have free will. A cow doesn't have free will. So a cow, it was an experiment done in 1960s. They figured that calcium is good for a cow. So they make a calcium powder out of calcium rock, and they put it in the fodder for the cows to eat. The cows didn't eat. Cows rejected the fodder. But we as human beings, we are very comfortable eating stuff which are not natural, because we have the control. We can put it in our mouth, gulp some water, and it goes in. So be very careful of what you are putting in your mouth. And also the movement, as I was talking about. And there are two types of movement. Actually, one is cardio, we all talk about, versus weight training. I'm not going to tell you, if your goal is to get six-pack abs, whatever I'm saying is not applicable. But if your goal is to keep your healthy mind in a healthy body, a little bit of cardio, would help, and a little bit of weight training. Actually, both are important. If you just start running, you will lose weight. Done deal. No question about it. But as soon as you stop, it would come back. But but if you do a little bit of weight training alongside with that, you will grow some muscle, and the muscle just to stay, even if you're watching TV whole day, not doing nothing, your muscle would need consume more calories. So that's a little bit of muscle training along with cardio actually helps. And last point is the mind body trick. You have to be aware of this. I have experienced myself again and again today also, and I read in many books, successful people or everybody for that matter actually experience that. Maybe you also experienced it. Once you create a habit, your body is telling you that, where is my exercise today? There is another part of your brain who tell you that, forget it for today. No big deal. Just leave it for today. Okay, we'll do it tomorrow. Okay, that is one part of you only would tell yourself. So if you can control that, if you can handle that, you are golden. Okay, so that mind body trick. And last but not the least is in this asset is time. And everybody has the same 24 hours. And we talk about time management and everything, but you cannot manage time. How can you manage something that you don't own? You have your money, you can manage. It's your money, you can put it in bank, you can buy stocks or whatever. But time is not like that. It's given to you every day. You use it or you lose it. Okay, so how you manage your time, immaterial. What we have to do is we have to do our activity management. Figure out where we are focusing, where we are spending time, and based on what is my goal. In the 7 habits of highly effective people, it shows you how to manage your goal and activity. It says that figure out different areas of life, maybe spiritual, maybe your health, financial, family, all these different areas, and figure out what activities you need to do. And then manage that, okay, I have to do this for my job, I have to do this for my spiritual life, and so on and so forth. So activity very well goes with your time management, or how you utilize your time. And we have to remember that you have enough time to master few. Once you know how to keep your body healthy, it supports you, and you learn how to concentrate on a subject at any one given point in time. Stay concentrated on one area of one subject that you need to either master, or some work to be done, some project need to be finished. Just stay put on one subject for some time. You will be so good at it, it would become a habit for you, and then you don't need any extra thing. Just like driving, you don't need willpower. Willpower is necessary. If you have to use willpower for everything, it's very hard. Life is very hard. But if you can put simple things like concentration as a habit, you can get a lot of things done. You can learn, or you can get a lot of projects done, and then you can do some more. Or when those initial things are done, you can, just like you learn driving, now you don't have to pay attention to driving. You now know that your destination is someplace, you now put it in GPS, and driving is automatic, just like that. And we have to remember that time stops at the end. Every day, all over the world, over 157,000 people are not going to wake up tomorrow morning. And the time is not guaranteed. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Have to keep that in mind. So use your time wisely. So those are the 3 basic assets we are all born with, be it COVID, be it after COVID, whatever it is. Some people are utilizing this. Elon Musk utilizing the same assets. And then on top of that, there are different resources. We'll talk about resources. Number 1, everybody again has the very same resources, like earth, air, water, sun. What else somebody has? Nobody born something special in their hand. Everybody born in the same nature. And we have these basic things. And on top of that, we have accumulated knowledge over the centuries, whatever knowledge is accumulated. with the advent of internet, we all have access to that knowledge. We definitely have to discern when we are Googling something, because you cannot Google things that you don't know. I cannot Google something I have no clue about. So I have to know, I have to learn how to use the accumulated knowledge. And very important resources are like family, friends, and extended family. If you think about Bill Gates, his mom actually set up his first appointment with IBM, right? So everybody has friends and family, and they are actually supporting us to reach our goal or get stuff done. How are friends winning over your friends and family is a big art. If you can get your people supporting you, and one technique I will definitely share with you about winning friends and family, that is, use these two. I have those little big, but all of us have two of those and one mouth. So if we can use this little more, understand what other people are saying. Here is what happens. You must have noticed that you talk about your father, somebody you're talking to, immediately they'll jump start talking about their father. You talk about your school life, somebody would start cut you in the middle and start talking about their school friends or something. If I just start telling you about my best friend in the school, you are automatically thinking about your best friend in the school. Okay, how that happens? As soon as that information goes through your ears, goes to your mind, and those areas in the brain are lit up. As soon as those lit up, all that information are available. And now most of us cannot hold our mouth, cannot continue to concentrate and listen to that person who's talking to. Instead, I remember some incident in my school, I have to say right now, I cannot hold it back. If we can hold back a little bit, all friends and families are yours too, and more to come. Because not many people have good friends who always listen to them, right? So this one technique definitely I know would help big time if you want to follow. If you're following how you're getting results, please do let me know. Okay, so these are the same assets and resources we have in our life. And with that, yes, I'm not talking about success here. I'm talking about happiness. Because ultimate success is happiness. Whatever you do in life is for happiness. We are doing Toastmaster. I'm into Toastmaster for more than 10 years because it makes me happy. It makes me happy to be around people like you. And every time I go to the club or visit different clubs now, it makes me happy. So I'm after happiness. As a matter of fact, you are also, all of us are after happiness, because you are born in this art. You are already successful. You actually beat millions others in your journey to get to your mother's womb, and then you came out. So you are born success. And just because you are successful, what you get one trip around the sun. You get one trip around the sun free every day, every year, one trip. Okay, and this Earth is moving like 18 miles per second. It's moving so fast. Yesterday, when I was telling my kids that it moves 18 miles per second, I gave them a perspective that, okay, going to this uncle's home and coming back within 1 second. They immediately said, oh, I still don't need a seatbelt. See how good this system is, how good this vehicle is. And we are all in the spaceship, basically. And so we are all born in this, and which part, how close you are from the equator, that actually tells you that what kind of color of the skin we have. If you are close to the equator, you have darker shade because you get so much of sun. You would get all the vitamin D. But the higher up you go or lower up you go, then people need to have lighter skin so that they can absorb more vitamin D from the sun. So it's a fantastic system they created. But in this travel around the sun, what is most important is who you are traveling with. Maybe you don't need Donald Trump or Obama as your friend, but do your friends, whoever you are traveling with, are they with you? That's the most important thing. That's what happiness is all about. At the deathbed, nobody says that I wish I got 2 more promotions in my job. They say, I wish I had more time with my family and friends. I would have done something better or some different experiences in life. So it's very important. But don't underestimate money. Money is very important. Just like oxygen, you need oxygen. Okay, since it's freely available, we are taking it, we are not talking about it. Money is just next to oxygen. You need it that much. And the measure how much money you have, it comes to how much of service you are rendering in the marketplace, how much of service you are giving to other people. Like Walmart, they are servicing hundreds of millions of people every day. Naturally, Walmart's owner, Walton family, they are the richest family under the sky, richest family, not one person, under the sky, and they make as a family $4 million per day, per hour. One day is 24 hours, almost $96 million, because they're servicing so many people. If I'm servicing with my job and whatever, I service one person, my boss only, yeah, you know my results. So that's how much money I'm making, and it's just a measurement of how much service I'm providing in this marketplace, or how valuable I am. And but again, at the end, you probably don't need a lot of money. One of the book by Tony Robbins says the name is Money. It's probably his last book. The book mostly talking about different stuff, but one area in that book talks about that figure out how much exactly you need per month to live your normal life. Maybe for some of you, if you are single or college going student, maybe you can live within $2,000. Or if you have a family, you have mortgage, all that stuff, maybe you can live with $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 or $10,000. If you can create an income or asset which generates that income, you're financially free. You don't need to depend on anything. And then you have, that means you have all the time to create, the success that you need. So with that, moving on to, can Toastmaster help you? Yes, Toastmaster can help. How? Number one is definitely helps you to be a better speaker, better communicator, that you can talk to everybody or talk to your friends, family, extended family, like to other Toastmaster clubs or your job and all the places you go to. And another important thing is it's a voluntary organization. You get to try leadership in a voluntary organization, not like a job where you have to, if you're a manager, people working for you have to follow you. This is not like that. This is different. Here it's a voluntary organization. If you follow the HPL or the theory that I was talking to you about, how to appreciate, how to help people, support, and all the visions of the HPL I was talking to you about, if you follow that, you would really become a leader. And if you are a leader in a voluntary organization, you will do very well in any other organization for that matter. It's not just me saying, even John Maxwell says the same thing. Okay, I would send you all a survey question that whether you have interest in. Yes, and those 3 simple questions I'll send you out, that if you have interest in or you just are enjoying your speech and you're keeping time in mind. Any question, I would open up everybody if you have any question. All right.
One question. Hey,
yeah, sure.
First of all, it was a wonderful speech. I learned a lot. Excellent. I know Diane mentioned about multitasking that you do. So what is your secret? Do you meditate mainly? Like, how often do you meditate?
I meditate every day.
Every day. Very good. How long?
20 to 30 minutes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. That's something I'm trying to get into. I hope, your speech inspires me to get started on that one. So
definitely get this book. Get this book.
Which one is that?
It's called Altered Traits.
What's that?
Altered Traits.
Altered Traits. Okay,
yeah,
got it.
it's a fantastic book.
Okay.
All right. Keeping time in mind, I'll move on. And last but not the least, thank you for coming. Appreciate your time. And if you are interested, I can send you this presentation link because I have all of your emails and everything. And with that, back to my awesome host, Diane.
Thank you, Saikat. This is how we applaud in Toastmasters when we're on screen. So I want to thank you for a wonderful presentation. You've given us so much to think about, and you've set such a wonderful example for us. So we thank you. We wish you all the best. And with that, I'll say good night. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good
Thank
night.
you so much for coming.
Good night.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Great
Very
job,
good.
second.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Emma.
Good job. Thank you.
Thanks. Really appreciate all of you coming. So appreciate that. All right. Good night.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bharti. Thanks, Kevin, for joining. Thank you. Thank you, Donna.